was good, you know what I'm saying? It's probably like, my first video that I'm actually about to have on this channel, you know, so I ain't gonna do too much extra, but like, let me explain what we about to do real quick, you know? I don't really do intros, that's not my thing. But like, look, we about to react to a couple, you know, horror story animated films and shit, whatever, blah, blah. This shit not scary. All right, it's daytime and I ain't a bitch. I ain't about to get scared, but we about to watch this shit. Me? You. Cause I'm watching you. Don't blink. Why'd you just blink? Why? You got one more time before I... Nah, but we about to watch some good shit right here. You know, I just, you know, pick, you know, a couple. We're gonna see how good this shit is, so let's just... Alright, bet. I'm liking it.
This happened to me about a year ago. I used to be a janitor for a cleaning agency.
Nope.
Basically take contract jobs to clean in various locations.
Nope.
One day, my cleaning agency gave me a cleaning contract at a psychiatric ward, also known as an asylum. To be honest, I was a bit hesitant to take the job, just because of the superstition of asylums being haunted, but I took it anyway because the pay was decent.
You shouldn't have done that. That's where you fucked up.
Later that day, I arrived there. I see a huge old-looking building. To be honest, I was quite creeped out since the asylum was secluded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a hint.
When I arrive inside, I notice people giving me an uninviting stare. I'm not just talking about the patients, I'm also talking about the employees as well.
Nah, they look fine, bro.
I kept it professional and began to do my job. I remember mopping the hallway and seeing some really bizarre things. I saw some creepy looking patients that had a disturbing look to them. I don't know,
chapstick!
They just looked like the kind of people you would see in one of those Exorcist movies.
Oh, bitch! Run!
Little music. I like the little music.
I remember seeing this one guy that really gave me the chills. It was a man who looked
Motherfucker
to be about 7 feet tall. He gave me this really disturbing smile, like he wanted to kill me.
Nah, he's
I could
happy.
see a nurse instructing him to lay on his bed. He didn't look too happy after that. I also remember seeing a swimming class taking place. Well, not exactly a swimming class, just a bunch of patients in a swimming pool. They were all holding an exercise ball.
Bro, you gotta leave.
The actions of the instructor. I personally found it unsettling, to say the least. When it was around the end of my shift, I was getting ready to head home. I noticed all the patients' doors were closed.
That's good.
For one room.
Don't go over there. Turn around. Turn around.
I see someone laying on the floor.
He's fine. He's taking a nap. He's taking a nap. I swear they do that all the time.
For one to be laying on the floor like that. I then saw the person getting yanked.
I'm home alone.
To the room. That honestly startled the crap out of me. I then noticed a puddle of blood.
That's not blood, that's ketchup.
To the hallway.
Bro, he had a hamburger deluxe.
And see what the hell was going on. As I peeked inside the room, I saw one of the most...
This is where you literally turn around and be like, I ain't see shit, bro. Like, you just can't even acknowledge that you've seen this, bro. Like, he's eating a hamburger. It's with a hot dog.
Disturbing things.
Extra ketchup.
He was the tall man I saw earlier.
Bruh.
He was biting the hell out of one of the nurse's neck. You can see the nurse's eyes gouged out with blood pouring everywhere. I carefully made sure to not scream or make a sound. I got the hell out of there and immediately started driving off.
Yeah, I'd have been gone a while ago.
Cops while driving. To this day, I'm still traumatized by what I saw that night.
Bro.
I'm not sure exactly what happened to the tall man, but he still gives me the chills just thinking about him.
See, why would you want to work at an asylum anyway? What is wrong with... Why? Knowing that these motherfuckers... Bro, he just wanted a hamburger, but she didn't let him get one. Let's do this one. Yeah, let's see if this one can actually put up a fight.
It was a typical boring day in calculus, only it was Friday, 7th period, meaning the week was almost over and spring break would finally be upon us, so everybody was getting antsy in their seats, I could tell.
Yeah.
We didn't have a test that day like a lot of my friends did with their other teachers, so our teacher in the middle of class just decided to start playing games with us on Sporkle.com.
That's a nice
He was
guy.
a very laid-back teacher
It's
like
a nice
that.
teacher.
As we were doing some brand logo quiz on Sporkle, I remember the exact moment it happened.
What happened, bro?
Right after my friend answered a question, I remember the exact answer too, Adidas. The dean's voice came through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked and frantic as he told all the teachers this was not a drill and to go into lockdown. I actually got the chills and I got goosebumps on my arms as our usually laid-back teacher too seemed panicked as he ran to turn off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room. We all sat in silence for about 2 minutes.
Is there a
And
window?
then the usual buzzing that came from a panel in the back of the room ceased, indicating that the school must have cut all the power. We all looked at each other, realizing this must be serious.
Why do you cut
A few more minutes
power?
of waiting later, we heard a man screaming at the top of his lungs coming down the hallway. 2 girls in the class actually started crying, which made all of us even more scared. As the screaming got closer to the classroom, the lunatic-sounding man started banging on the lockers while screaming, "I'll kill all of you." It was at that moment that I started to fear
Look,
for my
man.
life. My teacher shushed us as we all looked at each other to see our peers' reactions. The banging then moved from the lockers to our classroom door. And that's when one of the crying girls screamed no. The banging on the door only grew worse as the man started screaming, "Open up."
What's wrong with
2
his
of the girls in
teeth,
the
bro?
class
Go
were
to a
crying out loud now.
dentist.
It felt like an eternity that man was pounding at the door, but eventually he finally continued down the hallway, screaming like a mentally insane person until we could not hear him anymore. I'd say 10 minutes later, though it felt like half an hour given the situation, the dean came back on the loudspeaker explaining the situation, which was surprising for him to do. He explained that some apparently mentally unstable person entered the building and assaulted the woman sitting at the front desk, causing her to flee the building screaming, and staff wasn't sure if the man was armed or not.
She the safest
Now,
one.
this was before the
Shit, she
school had
left.
cameras or could afford proper security, so the school was
Oh.
wide open to something like this happening. The staff
It's
had done a
actually
sweep
schools
of
like
all
that,
the
bro.
hallways and classrooms and couldn't find him, so the dean instructed the teachers to resume teaching but to keep all the doors locked and to not let any students leave
Resume
for any
teaching.
reasons.
Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb?
Resume teaching. And you sat there like, I'm gonna learn today whether there's a killer trying to kill me. Whatever happens now, you deserve it.
The most
Your
disturbing
fault.
part, however, is that one of the janitors working the night shift found the man sleeping in one of the storage closets near the back end of the school.
You better have broke
And
that
according
mop
to
and-
rumors that were spread by my peers, sticking out of his pocket was a .44 Magnum. The janitor must have done something
I forgot, bro. It's 4th of July. Oh my god, bro. And I'm watching scary shit. And then there's banging outside. I thought that was on my door. Somebody was about to get crunched. I was about to turn around, bro.
stupid to wake him up. For example, leaving the closet door open, because by the time a police officer could arrive on the scene, the man was gone. My entire class, as far as I know, to this day, has no idea if this man was ever found, but I
transfer
like to think
schools.
that right now, he's being given the proper help that he needs.
You're a good person to think that. But he's probably like inside your locker waiting for you to open that bitch. So, look, I know that y'all couldn't hear that. But like, I thought somebody was banging on my door and nobody's here right now. But it's cool. We're gonna continue with this shit. Why did I decide to do this? All right. It's the next one. We got one more after this.
I have a sister who got married when she was 18.
Why your voice so deep?
She had a daughter named Susie.
Why her name
Her
Susie?
husband was unemployed.
Why he unemployed?
She had to work 2 jobs to support herself.
Why
her
she work
daughter,
2
and her husband.
jobs?
Every day. She left the house at 8 a.m. and she only returned around 8 p.m. every night.
You know, that sounds like typical
Around this time, Susie had an
work shit.
imaginary friend. She told my sister it was a little girl named Jessica.
Ooh, like
Susie would
Jessica,
talk about
like
her
I'm
all
a
the time.
desecrate your
My
friend.
sister even overheard her talking to Jessica. It creeped her out, and after a while, she told Susie she was forbidden to talk about the girl.
You fucked
We
up.
weren't allowed to mention Jessica.
I
when
thought
we
that was
came over to
Jessica.
visit. One day, Susie told her mom, Jessica is mad at you because you don't believe she's real. She comes to play with me when Daddy closes the closet door after you leave, and he lets us out before you come home. My sister had no idea this was happening. Her husband was supposed to be watching Susie during the day. Instead,
You just put her in
he
a
would lock her in the
closet.
closet with a box of cereal and leave her there all day.
What the
When my
fuck?
sister discovered what was going on, she kicked her husband out. The poor little girl spent so much time all alone, locked in a closet, that she had conjured up an imaginary playmate for herself. My sister,
I got chills. I ain't gonna lie. I got goosebumps. Her face, that was pure bloodlust, bro. Like on some Hisoka bloodlust, bro. That was pure bloodlust. Like,
divorced her husband and got custody of Susie. She decided to move out of the house they were renting. When the moving van came, the old man who owned the house came over to help them. He was talking to my sister and said, I was always worried about your little girl on those basement stairs. My granddaughter fell down those basement stairs and broke her neck. She died in front of the closet down there. When she heard that, my sister got the chills. What was her name, she asked. It wasn't Jessica, was it? The old
I don't
man
fuck
looked
with
at her
scary
and
shit,
said
bro.
Her name was Jessica. She was only 4 years old.
Dead
She couldn't say it
Jessica.
properly. And how did you know that's how she said her name, Jessica? How did you know? My sister was in denial.
Hold on, I got a little behind me. Okay.
She told him she didn't know what he was talking about. She refused to talk about it, grabbed the last of her things, and left the house for good.
Get out the house. Just go.
Even today, we're still not allowed to talk
Okay.
about Susie and her imaginary friend, Jessica.
That bitch was not
My sister
imaginary.
remarried a few years later, and Susie got a great new stepdad.
Okay.
But Susie,
Look happy.
when we speak alone, she always brings up that little girl and what she looked like. And it still creeps me out to this day, because I don't really believe in that type of stuff with ghosts and paranormal, but there's no way that Susie could have known about that little girl. But who knows?
Bro, it's
Maybe
about to
all
start
did.
raining outside. This not the vibe I wanted for my first video. Okay. We got one more. And I can stop torturing myself. I ain't scared. I don't get scared. I ain't. You just said I got scared. Boy, if you don't. Put 'em up. I'll knock your ass out. That's why I fucking thought, bro. I don't get scared, bro. I ain't scared, bro. I got a straw. Don't make me use it. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't get scared. I ain't scared of shit. I'm a man. I'm a man. 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 Alright. Last one. We can stop this. Bro, it started raining outside. It's daytime though. Scary movies don't start at daytime. I thought I was safe. Oh god. We cool. Alright. Look, we gonna finish. It's only 333.
It was 15 years.
333 plus 333 is 666. I'm being set up. Alright, look. We last one, and then I'm out. Y'all never see me on YouTube again? Oh wow.
Years ago. When I was 11 years old, I used to live with my uncle, who was 31 years old at the time. He took me away from my family, telling them how great I would be if I stayed with him in his farmhouse. Well, he actually had a really nice farmhouse. However,
Is that
that was
funeral?
totally fake. He
It's
also
not a
had a big
funeral.
van that he used to kidnap kids in. He usually abducted lost kids or the kids who were playing in the parks. Yeah, right. He was such a serious kidnapper and murderer. While he was tying up the children after the kidnapping, he ordered me to dig a hole for each one.
And you're an
Of
accomplice.
course, I didn't want to do that. I was just horrified and scared of my uncle. One day, I stayed with the kids inside the basement to monitor them. Crying, they were begging to let them go.
Wait,
I could see that some of the kids were almost the same age as my age.
It's some anime
so I
shit.
untied them and let them sneak out by the back
This
door
is-
so my uncle couldn't see them. He was in the kitchen sharpening his knives. I returned to the kitchen acting like nothing happened, but somehow when he lifted his head, he noticed through the window that they were running away. He got mad, grabbed his gun, and then he ran out the door trying to shoot them. I immediately ran with him, watching them and hoping that they could manage it.
You better
And all
run.
of the kids succeeded to run away.
But you died.
Fortunately,
What happened to
I
you,
could
bud?
see that one of them even waved to me to say goodbye. My uncle told me not to worry and that he'd get more kids the next morning. It seemed like that he was thinking that I was the one who was disappointed about the kids' escape or whatever. The next morning, I woke up and figured out that he was not there. And all of a sudden, I heard a loud siren, and soon after, the police entered inside the farmhouse. They found me and asked me if I was one of those kids who was kidnapped by him. I couldn't lie to him. I always felt sorry for lots of kids who got kidnapped by him. So I told them that I was his nephew, and they took me with them for questioning.
This
I
is
was
some
crying so badly when I confessed the
anime
truth
shit
about
right
it to
here.
the police. It was the hardest moment that I had to give proof of my uncle's serious crime, because I loved him anyway, whether he's a criminal or not. But I knew this day would come, and actually, I was waiting for it. They didn't believe me at first, but I
It's not
revealed the
over?
location of the holes to them. After digging, the police found bodies under the ground. At that time, my uncle got back to my mother's house, hugged her, and
Oh,
begged to stay for a while. However, the police had already told her about the incident and what had happened to me. So she told him he could stay, but as soon as he got to the bathroom to shower, she alerted Dad and they called the police.
did y'all get out the house?
My uncle was arrested finally, and the police thanked me and told me that I was such a brave kid. They brought me back to my parents, and I could have a better life with them. My uncle was charged with kidnapping, murdering kids, and even showing me such terrible things that kids should not see.
Yeah,
He was
I mean,
condemned to death, and not long after, finally hanged.
hey, that's not okay, man. I wasn't scared. I was not scared at all. There's nothing in there that could ever scare me. But like, that one in the middle with Desica, I got a little chills, but that's only because it literally started raining and I thought somebody was knocking on my door. And I don't fuck with like little paranoia girls and fucking doing weird shit. And I have a closet right there. That shit's not getting old. I'm not changing today. There's some behind me because I'm not. No. I know it ain't nothing behind me. You wanna know why? Because I got this motherfucking straw. But look, that's the first video. My first video anyway. Will it be uploaded first? The world may never know. But you know, leave a like, subscribe, follow, all the good shit. All the shit that makes me feel happy.